All right, today we're going to dive into the story of a financial giant that's built, quite literally, on gold. We're talking about Muthoot Finance and how they tapped into one of humanity's oldest assets to build a massive, modern business that was hiding in plain sight. And it all starts with this absolutely staggering number, 25,000 tons. Now, to put that in perspective, that's how much gold is estimated to be held by Indian households. It's a national treasure, for sure, but it's also a massive idle asset, just sitting there. So that begs the question, right? How do you take something so deeply cultural, so treasured, and turn it into a financial powerhouse? Well, the answer to that is really the story of Muthoot Finance. Okay, first up, let's meet Muthoot Finance. To really get a handle on this, we've got to look at the company's financial health right now. And these numbers, wow, they really tell a story. Their return on equity is over 18%, which is just a fancy way of saying they're fantastic at making profits from their shareholders' money. Their assets under management, or AUM, shot up by 37%. That's the value of all the gold they're holding for loans, and it is growing fast. And their net interest margin, the profit they make on those loans, is a super healthy 10.3%. So the big takeaway here is that Muthoot is an absolute giant in its space. It's the largest gold loan NBFC, that's a non-banking financial company, and it has branches everywhere. But its real superpower, that's the 100% secured lending model. Let's dig into how that secret sauce actually works. Which brings us to Section 2, the simple, secure model. Now we're getting to the heart of their success. Let's break down how this brilliantly simple business model actually works. At its core, the whole concept is just incredibly straightforward. You lend someone money and you take their gold jewelry as security. Because that loan is fully backed by a real, valuable physical asset, your risk of losing money is practically zero. And for the customer, the process is just dead simple. You walk into a branch with your gold, they check it out right there on the spot, and boom, you can walk out with cash, often in just a few hours. Meanwhile, your gold is kept safe and sound in their vaults. The whole thing is built for speed and trust. So it all boils down to these three words. The model is simple for the customer, it's incredibly secure for the company, and it's highly scalable across thousands and thousands of locations. So what kind of results does a model that slick actually produce? Well, let's get into the growth by the numbers, and believe me, they are seriously impressive. First up, check this out, a 65% year-over-year jump in net profit. That isn't just a good number, it's absolutely exceptional. It shows that as more customers come in, that simple, secure model just prints money without all the usual risks that other lenders have to worry about. Next, we've got a 37% growth in their assets under management. Remember, this is the engine of their business. It means more people are trusting Muthoot with their gold, which lets the company write more loans and just keep expanding at this incredible pace. And that brings us to their net interest margin, 10.3%. Think of this as the pure profit margin on their loans, the difference between the interest they charge and what it costs them to get money. A margin this high, you just don't see that in traditional banking. It really shows how efficient this whole operation is. And this number, honestly, this is the real showstopper, 0%. This is their gross non-performing asset ratio. A non-performing asset, or NPA, is basically a loan that's gone bad. It's a huge headache for all banks. But because every single Muthoot loan is 100% backed by gold, if someone can't pay, they simply auction the gold. The result? No bad loans. It's pretty much the holy grail of lending. And just to put it all in context, you can see their competitive edge crystal clear right here. That net interest margin we were just talking about, it isn't just good. It's way higher than their closest competitor and the rest of the industry. That extra profitability gives them a massive advantage. Okay, but it can't all be perfect, right? No business operates in a bubble. So let's get a balanced view of the road ahead. We're talking both the tailwinds and the potential headwinds. So the landscape here has a bit of a push and pull. On the one hand, you've got positive triggers, like rising gold prices, which means bigger loans, and the big push for financial inclusion brings new customers to their door. But on the other hand, the biggest challenge is the flip side of that, gold price volatility. If gold prices were to suddenly drop, the value of their security, well, it drops too. So how is Muthoot planning to navigate all this? Well, their growth strategy is pretty clear and rests on three pillars. First, they're expanding into new markets. Second, they're beefing up their digital game with online platforms and apps. And third, They're innovating with new products to keep customers coming back. So, after you weigh the simple model, the amazing numbers, and the outlook for the future, what's the final call from the financial analysts who put this report together? The analysis lays out 3 different paths here. The most likely scenario, what they call the base case, puts a fair value of around 2,450 rupees a share. But in an optimistic or bull case scenario, that could climb as high as $3,200, so there's some serious potential upside here. And here it is, the core conclusion from the report itself. The bottom line is a buy recommendation. And why? Because of those strong fundamentals, a reasonable valuation, and this is the key part, limited downside risk, all thanks to that 100% secured business model. Which really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In a world of super complex finance and high-tech disruption everywhere you look, is it possible that one of the most powerful business models is actually one of the simplest, oldest, and most secure ones, built on something as timeless as gold?